Next part that we're going to be presenting to you is the actual product itself. And I want to walk you through that and explain the advantages of this product and also the key components. What is SugarBeat? Well, SugarBeat is real-time continuous glucose monitoring, full stop. It is not flash. Meaning by that is it consists of a non-invasive sensor. It's a daily sensor that is changed on a daily basis. It has a rechargeable transmitter that you can see on my arm right here. It also has, as Faz said, a proprietary app. And the data is stored on the smartphone. There is no cloud connectivity with this generation. Functionality, it is one glucose measurement every 5 minutes, and every 5 minutes that data is transmitted from the transmitter to the smartphone via Bluetooth. When you look at the screen, what you see is an absolute glucose value. As with other CGM, real-time CGM products, you see the glucose trend line, and glucose trend, we have patented that. We see the rate of change, the arrows. We also have alerts. We have absolute alerts, so you can set an upper boundary and a lower boundary. You can also turn on a predictive alarm, and that is 20 minutes before hitting the absolute boundary. The average sensor warm-up time is approximately 25 minutes, although we're seeing that it is actually quite a bit less than that. It can be as less as a few minutes as 10 minutes. Sensor location, you see it on my upper arm. That's where it is. It can be worn on the upper arm. That is what is allowed by our application. The age, it is not for pediatric use. There's no pediatric claim in the current generation. The next generation we are working on will have the pediatric claim, so therefore 18 years and above. The insulin dosing decisions, if you apply fast-acting insulin, then an adjunctive finger stick test must be performed. So, what makes SugarBeat unique? What sets it apart from other CGM and FGM systems out there? Well, number one, it's non-invasive, right here. It's painless sensor, so it goes on the skin. It does not penetrate the skin. I like to say it stays on the skin, on the surface, and doesn't get under your skin. Second thing is, it is a sensor that we like to call peel and place. You peel it off, and it's very thin, and you place it on. So it's very easy to apply. Safe. Safety is extremely important when we're dealing with patients in a patient setting. The CE marking was in May 2019. Absolute and predictive alerts, and as I just said previously, insulin dosing decisions for fast-acting insulin with an adjunctive fingerstick test. Flexible use. This is a major differentiating point to the competition. Competitor real-time CGM products lock patients into either 7, 10, or 14-day wear periods. Here we have a daily sensor. That allows the clinician and also the patient to decide how often and how long they will wear the product. It can be that they might wear it today and tomorrow not. Or they might decide to wear it 3 days back to back, and then next week again 3 days. So it allows extreme flexibility in when, and very important, it doesn't lock them into a preset and predefined wear period. Hypoallergenic, extremely important. We've seen some very let's say hideous photos out on the internet where sensors have been on the skin for 10, 14 days, and then when they are basically extracted and taken off, the epidermis comes along with it. We've also seen allergic reactions. With SugarBeat, a daily sensor, you change the position every day from one arm to the other arm. Because of that, because it is not in one position for extended periods of time, 7, 10, or 14 days, we have not seen any reactions to date. It also uses a very friendly and gentle silicone-based adhesive. The adhesive here, because it is a daily sensor, does not have to have the formulation to last extended periods of time, 14, 10, or 7 days. So that makes it comfortable. And finally, with no skin penetration, there's less interaction with the body, so there's less immune reaction to this. Environmentally friendly, extremely important in today's world when we're talking about carbon emissions and also resources that are limited on this world. So therefore, with this product, there is no inserter. You don't need this. So you can bin that. The second thing is because it is what it is as from the design, there's no electronic circuitry, there's also no battery. So it's easy to throw away, not like that what I just tossed out. Then there's no excessive sensor packaging. If you look at the major competitors, the amount of packaging they have around their sensors is significant. You can bin that too. So that's gone. Finally, we have a rechargeable transmitter, which means that it can be used for a number of years and recharged. Affordable. We have minimized the number of components in the system by what I just put in this bin here. So when others are basically, when we turn on CNBC and watch Jim Cramer's Mad Money and see the CEO from a major competitive CGM firm talk about their future pipeline and their next generation sensor that will be 14-day wear time and will now have the transmitter and the sensor combined into one. We also say, well, they still need an inserter, and they still need packaging, and they still have electronics in there. So when that CEO says that it's going to be significantly cheaper than their current generation of product, we say, we don't really believe that, because it's all here in the bin. So who is this product for? What we see is that there's a large population out there, the T2 population, which is underserved and has large unmet needs. And we believe that the product can be used for wellness, weight management, prediabetes, T2 diet and exercise, T2 oral medications, and T2 long-acting insulins, or known in some countries as basal insulin. Our initial focus, because of our cost position, will be here with type 2, non-intensive medical application. This is where we believe that our product adds the most value to these patient lives. It is also the patient group currently underserved. The competitors, because of their cost base, are serving here the high-risk, high-intensively managed segment, the T1 and the T2 intensive. We know that this segment over here is currently has a penetration of CGM usage of 20%. There's still a lot of room for CGM use also in that space, but as I said, we believe that our product has a lot of potential here with the type 2 patient. Nevertheless, it also has an application in the future when we launch it into the consumer market, meaning wellness and weight management. But here in this segment here, in the non-intensive medical application, the physician that treats these patients, prediabetes through to T2 long-acting insulin, is the general practitioner, because these patients are presenting in the general practitioner's office. They are not presenting in the diabetes clinic here. Nevertheless, because penetration of CGM usage among the T1 and T2 intensively managed patients, the high-risk group, is so low, we do believe that there will be also usage in this segment over here. So therefore, communication will be here with the general practitioner and family practitioner. We will be targeting this, as well as diabetes specialist clinics, healthcare professionals, end users, and it has also an application, we believe, in the ambulatory and long-term care markets. So what is sugar beet's clinical use designed for? Well, we see 4 major areas for its use. Number 1, diagnosis. Number 2, therapy optimization. 3, prevention improvement. And 4, behavior change. Diagnosis with type 2 is important. And also time and range is important for type 2s. You want to manage the type 2 to have 70% of their values in the zone. Any excursion is a metabolic stress situation, also for a type 2 patient. Currently, the episodic test rates in this group is abysmal. It's very low. It might be 0.3, 0.4 test strips during the day. That's nothing. So Polanski then, Dr. Polanski in California then developed something called structured testing for type 2s, where you conduct 7 tests a day times 3 days. The test is performed pre and postprandial, 3 meals, plus once before going to bed. Sometimes called the poor man's CGM, but nevertheless, there's a lot of time in between those meals where you don't have data. And with data, you can then make decisions. What we're also seeing is in the United States, there is a pandemic currently with opioid addiction. And the physicians in the US are moving patients across from these opiates onto tramadol. Tramadol, known as Tramal in some countries, has a severe side effect. Even among non-diabetics, it can cause severe hypoglycemic events. But the current products, the current real-time CGM products from the competitors are too costly to do adverse event monitoring. So this is something that's important for the United States going forward. It's less of an epidemic in Europe, and we point that out here, that this product can be used not only for applications here from prediabetes and weight management through to T1 all the way across, but can also be used outside of the spectrum with healthy individuals. Therapy optimization. Question is, when do you put a patient onto an oral agent? When do you know if that oral agent is properly dosed? Timing of the dosage? Is it the right oral agent? When do you find out if you have to add another oral agent into the therapy regimen? When do you find, or how do you determine intensification when you would bring that patient into long-acting insulin therapy? Those are all decisions that today are very difficult to make for the clinician because the amount of data is spotty, it's episodic testing. So therefore, we see a huge use here in this category. Prevention improvement. Prevention improvement is one that we do have an epidemic of type 2 globally. It's driven, of course, by lifestyle, by people basically consuming too many calories, not exercising enough, and developing type 2 diabetes in a sedentary lifestyle. So here we see prevention improvement if it is weight loss, wellness, or prediabetes and T2. Behavior change. We have witnessed in the high risk, high intensity treated patients, T1 and T2 at that end, that seeing the CGM data has led to changes in lifestyle, has led to changes in nutrition habits, has led to changes in exercise regimens, and has also led to changes in sleep. So therefore we see this sugar beet together with coaching and consulting from healthcare professionals, supporting the patient to become better managed and preventing the disease. So what is our goal for sugar beet CGM? Well, our goal is let's sugar beet type 2 diabetes into remission. That's what our goal is. And this is a population that can benefit from this product significantly and also should be in focus and not sidelined because of the high cost of a product. That's why this product will be value priced to serve the type 2 segment.